Will Chicago's own Bernard Clay please come forward? Some still call Chicago the city of big shoulders. We know it is a city where people define themselves by their neighborhood. Bernard Clay is a man of Chicago, a man with big shoulders, upon whom thousands of young people and families in his West Side neighborhood continue to depend. Even as a young man, he saw that young people and the Explorer troop with whom he worked wanted more. So he, along with his neighbors, started providing college access services that led to TRIO, that led to his establishing Introspect Youth Services Incorporated. He is driven to meet the needs of young people on the West Side. He continues to see need and also continues to work with his neighbors to meet those needs. Bernard does not limit his concern to Introspect. He works to build his neighborhood institutions so that the area can thrive, whether it's schools, political organizations, civil rights groups, or churches. Bernard is a politician working at the state, city, and national levels so that political institutions are responsive to the young people and families with whom he holds himself accountable. Bernard, for your integrity, for your decade-long commitment and dedication, for refusing to speak anything but the truth as you see it, I am honored to present you the Walter O. Mason Award for 2019.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Chicago. I received the call. I really want to thank COE's Board of Directors for selecting me for the 2019 Walter O. Mason Award. I'm humbled to be among such a distinguished group of individuals. I am proud that Introspect is a institutional member of COE. In 1973, as a volunteer advisor with Explore Post 9712, I, along with 3 other advisors, began to take the members on college visits. Since we were at various stages of our undergraduate studies, the Post members would ask us about college admissions and financial aid. It was about that time that I heard about Mr. Silas Parnell and the work that he was doing to get students into college. So I invited Mr. Parnell to come over and speak at one of our meetings. He came and he made an impact on our members. That fall, our first member enrolled in college. For the next year, I was making nearly weekly trips to Dearborn Housing Project to take students to Ada S. McKinley. That fall, several more members enrolled in college. One day while visiting, Mr. Parnell gave me a Peterson's College directory. You remember those? And said, you should be doing some of this work for students yourself. Having organized Introspect Youth Services as a crisis intervention service under Garfield Park Mental Health Centers, earlier that year, we began assisting students with their financial aid applications and completing college applications. In 1977, when Garfield Park Mental Health Center moved, our all-volunteer service was without a home. So people started to come to my house for services. Realizing that that was not the best operation, the Post leadership organized a fundraiser on Thanksgiving Day. On December 1st, we opened our first office. The other advisors and I worked other jobs, so we continued to volunteer part-time. In July, we received a contract from Illinois Department of Children and Family Services and hired a counselor. I continued to volunteer at the agency while working for the Illinois Department of Corrections. The next fall, I left the state to work for Introspect as a coordinator. In 1979, I was promoted to executive director of Introspect. The agency has continued to grow. In 1980, Introspect was awarded its first talent search grant. For 2 grant cycles, 1982 to 83 and 1987 to 1990, our talent search application was not selected for funding. But we pieced together funding to keep the operation going. Introspect has become an institution on the west side of Chicago, and I'm proud to have been able to help thousands of young men and women improve their life and have brighter futures. I'm guided by the words of Toni Morrison, the late Toni Morrison. Just remember that your real job is that if you are free, you need to free someone else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower someone else. I thank you for this award. I thank the COE staff who provide support day and night. And I thank the board of directors for this award. Last but not least, I want to thank the Clay family of Chicago who came out this afternoon and supported. Thank you.